My friends, welcome to another episode of the Ask Sean Show. It's been a while since we've done an episode. It's been a couple weeks since we've done this. It's been crazy. It's been really good. A lot of good shit has been happening. Had the first Lions Not Sheep Revolution tour, which was really cool. Got a chance to have Andy Facilla come out to Utah, and we crushed that event. It was really cool. Donated a bunch of money to some vets, which was really awesome. And in the meantime, I think actually I got a chance to meet Gary Vaynerchuk in between now and our last episode. So those of you that don't know, like, this show spawned, I guess you could say, from me watching Gary's Ask Gary V show. And so I've paid homage to Gary in previous episodes for giving me the inspiration and permission, I guess you could say, to do a show like this, to engage with my tribe, with my audience, with my friends, with my family and everybody else. So it was really cool. I was in San Francisco at the airport and headed to Hawaii with my family, and it was funny. I saw a guy over just standing on the side of the airport, and I saw it from behind, and I instantly knew it was Gary. And I was like, Gary! And I don't ever get starstruck, but honestly, I was kind of starstruck. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I saw him and I was like, dude. I shook his hand. I was like, bro, I'm like a huge fan of yours, man. And really, like, I've read all of his books. I watched all of his stuff and everything. It was really cool. It was like super honored to meet Gary. So Gary, if you're watching this by chance, if you're like Facebook stalking me, which I hope you are, or watching some of my YouTube videos, bro, again, thank you for giving me the inspiration to do this show. It's been really fun, and it was really cool to meet you. I did a video with him too, which was kind of cool. I was like, hey, we need to do a video. I didn't even give him an option to like say yes or no. I pulled it. I was like, my friends, hey, I'm with Gary Vaynerchuk, and I like made him answer some questions. It was pretty cool. And I actually told him, I was like, dude, I have my own show. I started my own show called the Ask Sean Show, and we copied the Ask Gary V show. And he's like, cool, man. And he said it was cool. So technically, he's given me permission to copy his show and do my own show in kind of a roundabout sort of way. So my friends, I guess that's it, right? Without further ado, let's jump into your questions. Jordan, good question, man. I've actually answered this question on previous episodes, but I feel like it's an important enough question to rehash it. I believe in repetition. A lot of people are like, dude, you repeat the same shit over and over and over. Well, repetition is, typically how you get results. Your question about my morning routine, and not only what I'm doing, but why, I think is the really good portion of this question. Why do I have a morning routine? Well, first of all, my morning routine consists of me covering a couple different things. One being my body, my fitness. I've got to have fitness every single morning. So working out every single morning is a non-negotiable to me. My prayer, my meditation, my study, my reading, and then I do stuff with my relationships. I do what I call positive, affirmations, things along those lines, but I send out appreciation messages to friends, to family, to different things, different relationships that I have in my world. I do, the why is the big part of this question that I really want to dive into. I feel like the beginning of my day, it sets off how everything else happens. So there's days where you wake up and you're frantic and kids and you're late and this and that and the other, and you can pretty much show how a shitty day or having an ineffective day or a stressful day kind of like dominoes, right? And so I feel and have found over the last two and a half years of really mastering my mornings and taking control of my time, that I'm a lot more effective in my business, in my relationships, I feel better about myself and my body, and my relationship with my kids is better when I'm able to control my mornings, when I'm able to control what happens. So, I would used to wake up and I'd be like, all right, right into the emails, right into responding, right into this, right into that. And it just set me off on kind of like a bad path, a bad avenue. And so now to me, my mornings are sacred, man. Like, I won't do any meetings. I won't make phone calls, do anything like that before 9 o'clock. So it's like, I typically get up every single morning about 5:30. I'm at the gym 6:30, some mornings 7. Some mornings I don't want to work out first thing, so I'll get my reading in or I'll get my meditation. I'll go a little bit later. But from the time I wake up, I've got a solid 3 hours of just me time. It's me studying, it's me meditating, it's me going into the things that are important to me, getting my mind right. So as soon as I roll into my meetings, as soon as I roll into business, anything that I'm doing, super clear, super calm, super focused. But I believe that it's really crucial for people to be able to establish a system and a routine in the morning, and having their mornings dialed in so that they create that consistency for the day. So there's nothing more troublesome to somebody than starting off a day like in a panic or in frantic. So my why is I want the middle of my day, the end of my day, my mornings to be badass. I want to be super effective in my meetings. So me getting my mind right before I start my day is without question and non-negotiable. So yeah, that's what I do every single morning. That's my why. Jeff, really good question. How do I balance the business and the children, the family, the significant other, and all that? It's a really good question, man. That's probably the number one situation and issue that most of my clients deal with. Most of the guys that come into the Lions Not Sheep experience all struggle with this. Like, how do I balance all of these things? How do I accomplish everything that I want to accomplish? How do I work my ass off and grind all day long without pissing off my wife or neglecting my kids? So here's something that I found over the last year and a half that's been like really important and crucial to me and my business and what I'm doing in my world. It's quality versus quantity. What I mean by this is your wife, your significant other, whoever's watching this, whether you're married, whether you're single, doesn't matter. Your significant other is looking for quality. Okay, what that means is they want to connect with you. And what I found is that my girlfriend would rather spend 60 minutes with me of like undivided attention, no cell phone, no email, no distractions, no anything, than me spending like an afternoon at the zoo doing my thing and working. Yeah, great panda bears. Oh, cool, the seals look fantastic. And being completely aloof or completely distant. It's the same thing when we take our significant others out, our wives, our spouses on a date night. You know, being able to sit face to face and have a conversation about God, the kids, business, life, ideas, passions, versus being like, oh yeah, honey, that sounds great. Hang on, I just got to do this email. Hang on, I just got to do this text. Let me check Facebook. Let me update Twitter, whatever. Quality versus the quantity. And what I'm finding is the simplest way for me to balance all of these things and to truly create an impact in my business, in my relationships, with my kids, is to have quality time. So for instance, when I'm with my kids, I mean, my phone's not sitting right next to me, bing, 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 going off, and I'm playing Connect 4 while I'm doing my shit. Like, I leave my phone upstairs, I put it up in my bedroom, I do whatever it is that I'm gonna do, say, this is 30 minutes of quality time with my son, or my daughter, or whoever it is. Same thing with my wife. It's the same thing with your business. So here's where a lot of guys go wrong with business. They're like, dude, I put in 20 hours a day and I work my ass off. The reality is you're putting in, the quantity, if you will, but you're not giving it the quality. What I mean by this is being very specific in what you're doing with your business. Like, this 30 minutes is going to be dedicated to marketing, okay? Well, what we typically do is we start on our marketing and somebody knocks on the door and they have a question, and Sally from HR walks in, and then Bob from whatever walks in, and before you know it, in this 30-minute span that we dedicated to marketing, we've done like 8 other things and we've gotten nothing done on marketing. So what happens an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours later? We're still stressed about the fact that we didn't get shit done during that half hour for marketing, right? So what I'm a huge fan of is getting very specific on your time and what you're doing with that time. So if it's kids time, like, it's dialed in kids time, that is it. If it's business time, like I tell my girlfriend, I'm like, look, these are the hours that I'm working today. She'll come over and say, hey, will you do this? Will you do this? Will you do this? When I'm done. Like at this time, like I told you I'd be done at 4 o'clock. Happy to do whatever you need me to do at 4 o'clock or 4:01. But between now and 4 o'clock, it is dialed in specific to this time. So a lot of guys worry about like the juggling of the family and the business and trying to be all places, all times, all people to all situations. And it's humanly impossible. And at the end of the day, it'll run you ragged, man. It'll totally run you ragged. So you really got to focus on and make sure that you're very specific with your time and be quality with your time, quality with your kids, quality with your family, quality with your business, and stop trying to blend every single thing together, because at the end of the day, it causes you a ton of frustration. You don't get shit done, and then it convolutes everything else in your life. So try that, man. Focus on like the quality. When I'm with the kids, I'm with the kids. When I'm with the wife, I'm with the wife. When I'm at the business, baby, don't call me unless the freaking house is on fire, kind of a deal. And you get shit done with your business. So that would be my suggestion for you, my friend. Caitlin, hopefully I said your name right, Yarborough, Caitlin Yarborough. Good question. What thought has brought me? Probably the idea, like the thought that's brought me the most success, the thought that's brought me like the biggest amount of, I guess the simplest word to say is success over the last couple of years, is the idea and the knowledge that I don't know everything. And I know it sounds funny to people, but I know what I don't know. And for a lot of years I didn't acknowledge that. And so the thought that's brought me the most success and brought me the most happiness is knowing that I don't know certain things. And so for a long time, I tried to just do everything on my own. And what I found over the last 2.5 to 3 years is probably the single best investment that I can make with my money, and the single best investment that I can make with my time is in coaches and mentors, helping me get through things that I need help with, helping me get through things that I don't know how to accomplish on my own, and ultimately how to like solve problems. So I think the single biggest thought it's brought me to the level that I'm at now and helped me come back from my divorce and bankruptcy and the whole thing is that I don't know everything, and that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like we try and move through life thinking like we have to have every answer to every question, and I found that the quickest path for me to get to happiness is by saying I don't know how to do this, or I don't know what the answer to this is. Let me find somebody that can teach me, educate me, help me get to that result, get to that whatever it is that I'm looking for. And it fast tracks life. It makes me a hell of a lot happier, makes me a hell of a lot more successful in business. Yeah.